Next up, at UFC Vegas 80, we have Alexander Hernandez taking on Bill Algeo. This is actually one of the more fun fights on this card, potentially fight of the night. We got Alexander Hernandez, 14-6 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that win over Jimothy Miller. He's taking on Bill Algeo, 14-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that submission win over downtown TJ Brown. William Algeo is a pretty fast-paced striker. He's got that karate-style stance. He's going to keep his hands low, his legs wide. And because of that, he's got some decent striking defense. Surprisingly high output of almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute. He does like a dirty stand-up war if he can keep it there. He has some okay takedowns, but a low 42% takedown accuracy and a 55% takedown defense. He does have a BJJ black belt, great cardio, a fast pace, and he is super durable. He's taking on Alexander Hernandez. This guy is pretty tough to break down because, like Alex Morono, who we're going to break down in a little bit, he's got all the tools, but can be a little hit or miss at times. Alexander Hernandez has good hands. He's got good wrestling. He's got good cardio. He's got some good wins. He beat Beneil Dariush. He beat Francisco Trinaldo. And then he's got some horrible performances where he didn't really put things together. He is a solid wrestler. He is a solid athlete. He does have that power. He does have speed. His wrestling, it's probably one of his best assets, but he does have a low 32% takedown accuracy. He is coming off that decision win over Jim Miller. And if you remember, Jim had that nice little rally and everybody's excited for him, but just a little too late. Too little, too late. But Alexander Hernandez is going to look the part. He's going to have moments. He's going to, wow, look how fast he is. But he just doesn't seem to get over that hump. I don't know what it is. Like him, when he's in these fights against the bigger-ish type name, and not that Bill Algeo is a huge name, but this guy's a tried and true, been there for a while, very good guy, durable guy, high output guy. Alex just seems to not get there, even though he's got all the tools. So I am going to pick Bill Algeo for those reasons. But I think tool for tool, Alexander Hernandez is the better fighter, but I can just trust Bill Algeo just a hair more. So I am going to pick Bill Algeo here, but that's a pretty low confidence pick because Alexander Hernandez is very, very good. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, he is a pretty good fighter. I think the biggest question mark here is I have no idea why he's coming back down to 145. He already tried it once. He didn't look great on the scale, got finished in the fight, and he got tired very, very fast in that fight. Now he's coming back again to 145 against one of the most durable guys we have seen at 145. This just seems like a recipe for disaster. This is probably going to be the most typical Alexander Hernandez fight I have ever seen in my life. He's going to come in. He's going to be looking strong, big at 145. He's going to put the weight back on. Bill Algeo is a guy that gets hit and gets hit a ton. And when he gets hit, he gets even more, or he gets even less technical. He'll drop his hands even more. He's already like a hands low type guy. But then he starts getting hit, and then he's like, you're not hitting me. It doesn't even hurt. One of those type of guys. So Alex is probably going to touch this guy up, bloody him, and maybe this is the fight where Bill Algeo finally gets knocked out because we haven't really seen it lately. I mean, he's a very durable guy, but maybe Alexander Hernandez comes in at 145, finds the power, finally knocks this guy out. He better hope so because after the first round, I think Bill Algeo just kind of takes over this fight. That's what he does normally in fights, especially against a guy like Alexander Hernandez, who we've seen at 145 doesn't have the same durability. Not that he's like the most durable guy in the world at 155, but he definitely isn't very durable at 145. If I'm Alexander Hernandez, you have to play this one of two ways. One, you come in and you say, this guy can be hit. I can hit this guy. I'm going to finish him in the first round. I'm going to make a statement. I'm going all in. Fuck the cardio. Whatever it is, I'm going to put this guy away. If he does that, I think there is a path where he could finish Bill Algeo. The other situation is I know I can't finish this guy. I need to fight this guy like I fought Jim Miller because he was fighting a very good fight against Jim Miller. He wasn't the typical blitz forward, aggressive, blow your load. He basically just point fighted Jim Miller and just kind of outstruck Jim Miller in that fight. He can outstrike Bill Algeo in this fight if he just kind of methodically goes point by point. But I think there's going to be a situation where it's going to be in the first round. He's going to hurt Bill. Bill's going to be bleeding. He's going to go in for the kill. Bill's going to weather the storm and then take over and might finish Alex in the second or third round. So, I agree that Bill, if there was a money line bet, I've only placed one money line bet on this card, but there was one that I just kept staring at, and that's Bill Algeo. But I could not place it because he does get hit a fucking ton. He does get beat up, and Alex, as you said, he's a good fighter, man. He is a good fighter, but I just think it's going to be a typical fight where he's going to look good, kind of blow his load. Bill's going to take over and finish him in the second or third round. So I went a little bit more specific instead of just money line. If you want to see what that is, you can become a premium member at WheelandPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. And so Bill is my official pick.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think we're in the same boat. I didn't put any money on this yet because of that. I imagine plus 3.5 on either side is going to be juiced through the hills. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I said I imagine plus 3.5 is juiced.
They don't offer it. It's too close of a fight. It's not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it is like I said before, skill for skill. I think Hernandez is the better fighter, but we've seen him not put it all together at times before. So Bill's going to be my pick as well, but super, super low confidence. DraftKings wise, $7,800. Alexander Hernandez may be worth that, especially if he gets the wrestling going. If he gets the wrestling going, he could have some very real success there. Power in his hands as well. So we'll see what happens, but this should be a really fun fight, potentially fight of the night.
If he wrestles, he's going to wear himself out. I don't know why he's coming to 140. Not only, if you're coming to 145 and you have a favorable matchup, that's one thing. But coming to 145 again after you failed and you're fighting a guy as durable as Bill Algeo, I mean, if he pulls this off, I mean, hats off to him.
Well, and off a win. Yeah, it was Jim Miller who's 40, but like he's coming off a win. Like it wasn't, let me quickly change weight classes and see what I can do. What is that face?
Right.
Why were you making a face? Okay, well, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member.